Hey everyone, welcome back to UJX Anti. Today we are going to discuss Bitcoin's price relationship with 50-week simple moving average. Here we have got Bitcoin's price action in weekly candles, as well as we have the 50-week simple moving average, which is the yellow line here. And if we go back over the cycles, we will see that this line, 50-week simple moving average, has been a support for Bitcoin's price action after big rallies. So if we look at 2014, so we had a parabolic rally. And then after that, when we started to go into bear market, we see that we bounced off this line, 50-week simple moving average. So, and it was a substantial bounce. It was 80%. Of course, we went to lower points here and it was just a relief rally. However, it was substantial, 80%. Then we had 2018 bull run, and again, the story is very similar. The rally ended in December of 2017, and we started the new year with poor price action of Bitcoin. Again, when we went to 50-week SMA, we had a perfect bounce of it. Again, it was substantial, 50%. And as we can see, we went to lower price again, and it was a prolonged bear market after this bounce, but it was nonetheless a substantial 50% relief rally. The next instance is the 2019 bear market rally. Some people call it QT rally, some people call it bear market rally, but it was a more than 300% rally nonetheless. And again, we had a bounce from the 50-week SMA. So the rally cooled off in the summer of 2019, and then we started to head to lower prices. And when we got to 50-week SMA, we had a substantial bounce to, again, like if we are precise, it was more than 50%. If we include the weeks, yeah, it was even more than 60%. And then we had the recession, which was a black swan event. So this part, yeah, it was just a black swan event and no one could even anticipate, and we shouldn't even take this into consideration now. All right, and the last instance that we had is the famous 2021 rally, which we had. And after that, in the summer months, we again experienced some poor price action. Then we had the ban of cryptocurrencies in China. Elon Musk announced that Tesla is not going to accept Bitcoin as a medium of exchange for Tesla cars. And we had a summer lull here. We can see that again, when we had a poor price action and we went to lower prices, a 50-week SMA was the support line again. If we include the weeks, we had another 138% rally after this support. So you can see that in some instances, we are having relief rallies. It means that it happens in the bear market. This one, for example, 2014. Another example is 2018. And yeah, this is just before the COVID recession. However, there are instances that we went to new all-time highs, which is 2021. And right now, when we come to today's conditions and environment, we can see that basically we are in a very close situation to all-time highs. Yeah, the price is a little bit lower than that. So if we take the high, yeah, it's only 13% off the highs. However, if we go to daily chart, it will be even clearer. So we see that we have a major resistance, which is close to 71K, a little bit over than that. So we had a small fake out here. However, the problem is that we couldn't pass this resistance. So we had once, twice, thrice, and four, five times. We tried to pass this resistance 5 times. However, we knock the door, but it never opens. And we see that we've developed a support line close to 60 or 61K. You can draw it in a several of ways. So yeah, here it's a little bit more than 60K. So, and it's similar. So we had one fake out and we had the Fed FOMC meeting. And after the meeting, Bitcoin bounced off this fake out and it is now close to its all-time highs, more than it was here. So basically, we can see that the price bounced in this territory for quite some time. So we entered to this 61K to 71K condition. We can call it like ping pong territory. So first we went to new all-time highs. Then we bounced back to the support line. And again, the story is similar. We had here, like we didn't go down to 61K, but again, we couldn't pass the 71K resistance zone. So you can see what I'm talking about. We still cannot pass this zone. And when you look at this, let's get rid of the drawing. So it will be, and yeah, like the short-term bias is that we are headed to 60 or 61K just because we are in this territory and just because we couldn't pass the resistance zone. So let's get rid of the drawing. So if you look at this and if you look at the big picture, so let's zoom out. This part is quite similar of, it's awful similar of a distribution pattern. We are in the zone of 61 to 71K. We cannot pass it for multiple times. We knock the door, but it doesn't open. So it's very similar to a distribution pattern. And we know how those patterns end. And here we can see that currently we are far off the 50-week SMA. Right now, if we just try to, yeah, it's currently 50-week SMA sits at around 46K. And we are like, we need to go down 29% in order to find support there. However, we know that this is a rising function, so it's not going to sit there at 46K like as a stagnant function. So it's going to rise. And if it's rising like this, so we can have some sideways action. So we can just, like even if we go sideways for a couple of months, most probably the 50-week SMA will catch up and it may be the support line there. However, there is another instance, another case that should be argued for, and it is the scenario. Let's get rid of the first scenario. So in the second scenario, which is more bearish, is that we head to it and we meet it somewhere sooner. So not in months time, but in maybe weeks time. So in that case, we see that it's going to be close to 50K. So we are going to find the support line at around 50K zone. So this is the first argument that the market is weak. It's not strong. The bulls are losing momentum. And we can see that based on this zone. So we tried to pass the resistance of 71K for 5 times and we failed every time. And Bitcoin is quite strong right now because it has ETF flows. However, if we go to total 3 divided by BTC, and total 3 is the total market cap of all cryptocurrencies except Bitcoin and Ethereum. So it excludes the market caps of the blue chips, and it just represents the general altcoin market. And we divide it by Bitcoin's market cap to see whether they outperform or underperform Bitcoin. And let's get rid of the SMA. Here we see that starting from November of 2022, the general altcoin market underperformed Bitcoin. And if we zoom out, we will see that there is some room to run if we follow the other cycles, like the previous cycles. However, another bearish thing is underway. Here we can see that we are in a bearish wedge pattern. So this doesn't look good. We know that Bitcoin currently is very close to its all-time highs, like it's just 13% off of it. However, most of the altcoins are not even close to their all-time highs. And in the recent months, we can see that altcoins bleed against Bitcoin. So even though Bitcoin may be in the 61 to 71K range, we see that the general altcoin market shows some weakness, and this doesn't look good. So we have the distribution pattern of Bitcoin, and we cannot pass the 71K zone. And secondly, we see that the general altcoin market is very weak, and we are on the edge of this descending wedge pattern. So this is very bearish, and this doesn't look good. And there is a possibility that we break this to the downside, and we follow the previous cycles by going down the whole way. So right now we are at 0.47, but there is a chance that we go back to close to 0.3. So as we can see in the previous cycles, like 2018 and then 2019 and later after the recession 2021, we went to close to 0.3 range. And there's a chance that after breaking down this descending wedge pattern, we are going to be headed to this territory again. So we see that there are some weaknesses in the market. That's why I suggest that in case we are going to see sideways action or drawdowns from these levels, an important point that we need to watch is going to be the 50-week simple moving average, which is going to rise, of course. It's not going to be stagnant at 46K as it's now. And this is because from the historical viewpoint, we saw that almost after all the rallies, without exceptions, we bounced off it perfectly. So whether it was a relief rally and then we went to lower prices and we had prolonged bear market as we had in 2014 or in 2018, or whether it was a rally that took us to new all-time highs, we saw that we had perfect bounces of the 50-week SMA. And sooner or later, we will find ourselves at that level again. And history suggests us that it's very likely that we will bounce off it. Whether it will be a short-term bounce or whether it will take us to new all-time highs, it's anyone's guess. If you are bullish, you'll say new all-time highs, but some people will just say that it will be relief bounce. So, however, that's what history suggests us. So that's what prior data shows us. And we shouldn't exclude the possibility that we are in a local high situation, like in 2019, for example. In 2019, we had a very good run, very good rally. After that, we had a couple of months of sideways actions, and after that, some massive setback. And of course, after that, we had the infamous COVID recession. And only after that, we had the parabolic rally. So here it can be very similar to that. So there is a scenario that we go like sideways, which we already do for the last couple of months. And after that, we have a couple of months of setbacks, correction of maybe 30-40%, and only after that we are headed to new all-time highs or like to a parabolic rally. And in that scenario, you just need to watch the 50-day moving average, 50-week simple moving average, because the probability that we will bounce off it is high, as history suggests us. So whether we will have recession after that, it's anyone's guess again. So we can have some black swan event again. However, if we exclude those events, there is a high probability that if we go down, we will bounce off this line, and it will be a substantial bounce. That's just what data suggests us. All right, so I just wanted to share that. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.